Bama's pretty. We'll touch on LSU in here in a second. Bama's pretty bad this year. Very beatable. Beatable by who? Beatable by anybody left on their schedule? Mississippi State, Tennessee. I don't think so. Auburn, maybe. Arkansas, probably not. But could they drop another one? Yeah, sure. And they'll at this point, they're not gonna beat Georgia. But the thing too is they have 6-7 weeks to be ready for that game. Yeah, probably. That was a fun game too. That was a very fun game. But going back to LSU, while you guys talk about whatever in the chat, they're at Florida. They're at Ole Miss, at Alabama, Arkansas at home. They get a break with Louisiana Monroe and then Texas A&M. Like, there's only one more guaranteed win. And yeah. Okay. Auburn. I said Georgia. Georgia. If Alabama and Georgia played tomorrow, Georgia would win. Auburn. No. Bix is too. What Calzada did tonight was, even when it looked bad, he avoided the ugly plays a lot of the time. Bo Nix will give you the ugly plays. And Tennessee is as good as they. No, they're not. Tennessee's offense looks a lot better, and they seem to be on the right path. They found a quarterback. But no, they're not on that. I'm not going to overpraise Tennessee because they beat Missouri and South Carolina. Arkansas, if that game wasn't in Tuscaloosa, I would agree with you. But the Barry Odom defenses the last couple of years have kind of been just buzzed through by teams with good offenses, and Alabama has a good offense. So no one. Squad made tonight's result kind of stunning. But it was on the road. I don't think Arkansas is winning in Tuscaloosa, and I don't think Tennessee is winning in Tuscaloosa. And I don't think Bo Nix can make enough plays like Calzada did tonight to beat them. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I was wrong about A&M. But I don't think I'll be wrong about that one. So you think Bama will make the SEC title game and then beat Georgia? Well, if that happens, they're back in the playoff, and they would be in the playoff. I was trying to think of like what seed they would be, but they'd be back in it. You'd at that point probably see like it'd probably be a playoff of Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, and insert fourth team here, maybe Iowa. No, not Iowa. And if Alabama still had Mac Jones and Devontae Smith, they would be unstoppable. So, yeah, I agree. But Alabama doesn't lose this game tonight if they have Mac Jones and Devontae Smith. I agree with you on Georgia. I agree with you a little bit. I agree with you on Arkansas is better than Georgia. The two teams played. But the difference is that game's in Tuscaloosa. And I don't think Arkansas's defense will make enough plays to win in Tuscaloosa. I'm not explaining that again. I've already explained that. Auburn, Bo Nix is not making enough plays like Calzada did tonight. He turns the ball over too much to beat Alabama. Now, that's going to be a tough environment, and Saban's lost 2 in a row on the Plains, but I don't see it. And then Tennessee, again, they're not better than A&M at this point. Now, if next week they go out and crush Ole Miss, we'll talk. I think Tennessee's back on the rise, and I'll be in Knoxville for their game against Georgia. But yeah, I mean, obviously Arkansas and Georgia are better than A&M. They beat them, Arkansas beat A&M. I just don't think Arkansas can win in Tuscaloosa. I think the venue will. Buddy, I've said they're better like 10 times. I'm going to block you if you keep saying that because I've said they're better. It's the venue that will change the outcomes between the two games. No, Bix. We'll need a game like you had last week against LSU. Yeah, and Alabama's not as bad as LSU. LSU's about to fire their coach because they just got killed by Kentucky. Yeah, that crowd was awesome tonight. It's one of the best atmospheres in college football. A&M is a weird, culty place. And yeah, they won. Sick 'em. The big day for Georgia. They went on the road to Auburn and it wasn't a game, wasn't even close. Alabama goes down. They're going to be the number one team in the country, and they're going to be the number one team in the country for a long time. So, big day for them. They have their biggest game of the year next week against Kentucky. Win that, and then you have another big game against Florida, and you have another big game against Tennessee, who looks better. But I don't think I've seen enough Josh Heupel offenses. I wouldn't worry about Tennessee if I'm Georgia. Now, if I'm another team, then yeah. Just because we saw Josh Heupel in Missouri run through bad teams all the time. I mean, I remember Josh Heupel, they would run it up on Florida in 2017. Drew Lock set an SEC touchdown record that year because that's just what Heupel offenses do against bad teams. And they played South Carolina and Missouri. Yeah, it just happens. Alabama loses games. I know it seems like a miracle. But they'll lose games. It happens. It's okay. Do you think Georgia they seem to always slip up somewhere. But if you had to ask me today, I don't know where that slip up comes. Does it come next week at home against Kentucky? Probably not. Their best chance at a slip up is probably Florida in Jacksonville. But I don't, at this point, see that happening. And I see Q Sweat's next comment. I will remember you. I don't have to do a show that week because Bama's on a bye week. But you can find me on Twitter at PsychoZ50. And you can certainly let me know then. I'll respect that. But at this point, I couldn't tell you where they slip up. And if they slip up in like an SEC championship game, they're going to make the playoff anyway. So I don't think Bama goes to 5. I think they fall further than that. I think Ohio State's going to get back in front of them. And I wouldn't be shocked if they fall behind Michigan. I think they're going to be in 7th, to be honest. I think they're going to fall to 7, maybe 8, depending on what the committee thinks of Oregon. Which does Oregon play tonight? I don't even know. No, they play Cal Thursday. Good to know. I don't think it would be that good of a game. I think Georgia would win. If Georgia and Alabama played today, I think Georgia would win 30-21. Something in there. But we have 7 weeks to kind of figure things out. It sure seems that way. But JT Daniels has got to get healthy. Stetson Bennett's not winning them a national championship. They all could be Georgia. I just wouldn't have the gall to predict that they would beat Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, Georgia lost at home to a South Carolina team that went 4-8. Like, yeah, it could happen. I don't know where I would predict it to happen. A lot of these times it's an obvious spot. Like, okay, I just wouldn't predict it.